Hi, welcome to The Backyard, and I'm Rachelle. The Backyard is a platform designed to bring women from all walks of life together to uplift, motivate, and inspire other women out there to step into their greatness. So today we're here with Nancy Thompson. We're here with Katia Xavier and Nadej Wicker. And these women, for me, have exemplified what friendship is about. So the purpose of this particular episode is to talk about the longevity of friendship. They have inspired me, so therefore I felt it was crucial to bring them here today to talk about their dynamic. So we will start with our conversation. So here we go. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you for having
Thank you.
us.
So I know for years I've been in your life. So not to put people's age out there, but yet I've always looked up to you guys. And one of the things that inspired me the most with your dynamic is the way in which you guys interact, and more so the longevity, because it's been over 40 years of friendship that I can remember. So you feel free to dive into if it's true, if it's not true, because I know a lot of that will happen. But I certainly feel that if I have a relationship to look up to or to inspire me to emulate in life, your dynamic is what I actually comes up to mind. That's why we're here today.
Well, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
That's-
You're welcome. So here we go. I have a couple of questions, so we'll just feel free to answer. Let's not all answer at once. You know, we all get together, we'll all get excited.
That might be a
So-
little problem.
When did it all start? So Nadesh.
Okay. Well, it's different for each person, but obviously with Nancy, I knew of her probably in grammar school, but officially we became friends probably sophomore year in high school. We all went to the same high school, obviously, but our connection became solidified sophomore year. And with Katia, it was freshman year. I was in
I see
class,
laughter here. So okay, what
scared,
happened?
and someone just walked up to me and said, "You're my friend." I was like, "Okay," and that's how it all began.
Okay. So you guys had the same memories.
It's the same, yes. I met Nadej first, and then I met Katia in high school, and we just kind of came together, and it became.
So I have to say something. So let me bring it back a little bit. So we have dynamic is what makes this dynamic for me even more pure is that you guys did not know of each other, but yet you guys have one thing that brings you together, which is culture, right?
Yeah.
Each of you are from or have parents from Haiti.
Yes.
And so was there any sac passés going on at some point? I know some people didn't even speak the language. So, and some did more than others. So my question to you there, at what point did that bring any, you guys closer, your culture? Did culture play a role in the dynamic and what pulled you guys together?
Absolutely, I think so. And especially since a lot of us, we came from before high school, like Nadej mentioned, in our neighborhood.
Okay.
We had a lot of diverse relationships, but our background being Haitian and having Haitian parents, and some of our parents knew each other.
Okay.
So that made it easier for us to get together and build our friendship from there.
And understand, the rules that were set upon our households.
sure.
Other people didn't have the same rules, obviously. Coming from a Caribbean culture, we're a little bit more strict. So we kind of understood, what that meant and how to get around it. So it helped. It helped to understand, what it takes to get by in high school and life, actually.
Actually, you just said something here that actually generates a thought for me, because as a mother myself of two, living here in Florida and raising my children in a community that is not representative of who they actually are, I have had challenge as a parent to explain to them why we do what we do, how we do. And very often I try to explain to my kids that, okay, we just do.
Right.
And our cultures are not the same. So even though Joe, Larry, or Sam may be doing certain things a certain way, it doesn't mean that it's wrong. It just means that we don't do it. And part of the reason behind this culture, it has to do with the way in which we were brought up and how we were influenced by our parents, by our experiences. But also I believe that when you do have individuals that have similar attributes as it relates to how they were raised, it can help the situation
Well,
more.
it's less explaining.
Yes.
Like even, oh, you're going to come and eat. We know what the food is. We love the food. That's what we eat.
Yeah.
So everything is, it's just, there's less explaining. You just meld at a quicker level, deeper level. I just don't think you need to be like, oh, that's what you do. You guys do this. Why do you do this? No explaining or feeling uncomfortable about maybe what your culture is or anything like that. We were just very comfortable from the beginning.
And like you
To
said, it
process.
helped us to identify with each other
Yeah.
because we did have the same backgrounds and we came from the same places. Although we didn't know each other then, but it was a lot easier for us to become friends because we did have that same culture to share.
Yeah, in high school you have other kids, nothing's wrong with it, but they're like, you can go out at 10. We're like, you go out at 10?
Yeah.
Like,
What about the
how did-
sleepovers?
like,
Yeah,
oh,
big thing. Big
did
thing.
sleepover. You have a house. I bought a house. You don't need to go sleep over. It was,
Yeah.
but these are things that again we didn't have to explain to people, and it's great to explain and teach other people about our culture, but just to have that comfortability with us that it was just one thing we didn't have to do. It was just an easier bridge for us to cross to be closer.
Can you recall a moment that was very clear to you that you experienced together or individually that you could say, you know what, it's my girl? At what point did that click for you guys?
For me, I was thinking about this, and for me, there actually isn't one defining moment.
Okay.
I think what people may call a defining moment could have happened in our lives, and I always looked on my side, and I'm like, I'm so glad that they're here, but I was very fortunate meeting these girls because it just meshed, and it was, we were just that's just what we were. We were just friends. I don't think there was one thing like, oh, that girl's my friend. Like she's my friend. I see who she is. It was just once I met her, we just kept going, and every time something came up, I know I was very thankful that these two girls were by my side. So as a specific moment for me, I didn't really have one. It just was.
Okay. Vish?
I feel that I judge the friendship I have with them, or I made the decision with how I was going to feel about them subconsciously, but I think it clicked when I found a situation with her, and she's a vulnerable person, and then we connected and we were able to get through it. And then she would have another situation, and at that same time then I connected with her. So I feel like the times are different, but it happened when we shared a specific incident that we were vulnerable, and then we could connect and get each other through. So it's different times, but it's the event that caused that mental note. Okay, this is my girl, and she's there for me, and I'm there for her, and that's it.
Although I knew Nadej first and I met Katya later, I remember, although we used to come from different areas and take the bus at different times, but there came a point where I would come and meet the ladies at Nadej's home, and her dad used to, take us to school, take us to the bus stop or wherever, and we would have breakfast together and make scrambled eggs together. And
Oh, well, I
everything.
had to do scrambled eggs today. So I guess the tradition continues.
Keep it
Okay.
together.
Exactly. We're still doing that. So I think at that point I realized, I was like, these are my girls. We're about to go to high school together. I'm about to have 4 wonderful years with people who are now becoming family. And I think that was one of my memories as far as defining moment.
I think that's when you know.
Okay.
I think if most people were really to honestly trust their gut, it's not really wrong all the time. Sometimes you can mess up, but there's nothing like being, like you said, vulnerable in a place, and you just turn just a little bit, and there's somebody there that's like,
I got you.
you.
Yeah.
I'm right here. I'm not leaving. I'm not judging you. I'm gonna try to help you through this. If you want me to listen, I'm gonna listen. If you want advice, I'm gonna try my best.
Exactly.
But even if they personally at that moment did not go through whatever situation you did, I never had to be like, well, it's like, when you do this and that. They were like, just tell me how you're feeling. And they dealt with that. And that is important. I think anybody who listens to this can say, when somebody just accepts you, doesn't judge you, and just literally, you don't have to
Explain.
explain and go through this whole prefix of like this, and this. They just like, you could just talk to them. There's nothing like it. I hope everybody does get a chance to experience that.
I would say that even though this show, this show is definitely for women, but I always tend, because as a mother and as a mentor, I'm always thinking of the younger generation going through the stages right now, right? Because they're meeting new people, they're getting involved in different dynamics of relationship. But it sounds to me that it's not so much the how many sleepovers you had, how many times you went out, how many times I spoke to you. And nowadays, how many times we FaceTime, that really define a relationship. It's sometimes that one moment of vulnerability, like you mentioned, that's like, all right, wow, I didn't expect that.
Right.
Well, lesson learned is that although it sounds all nice and mushy and cheerleady-ish and all that, but
Cheerleading.
but it takes work. Sometimes I don't like what someone does, but I love them regardless. And it takes work, like any relationship. You tell them about themselves and you make them accept it so they could be better, and you listen when they correct you so you could be better.
Well, I thank you for this moment.
Thank you.
There's so much to cover. I mean, obviously, it's over 40 years of relationship, so there's so much to cover. So therefore, we have more than one episode with these wonderful women. And I'm leaving you with this. I believe that it's important that we surround ourselves with energy that are uplifting, energy that feeds us. And I believe that this is what they actually have done as a group. And I ended up getting affected by it because I am related to Nadej, so therefore I have gained sisters, cousins, relatives through that bond. And this is how you can actually expand your family. Family doesn't have to always be blood related, but you can actually expand family by incorporating people that are actually bringing positivity in your life, that are uplifting you, that are bringing you to a different stage in your life, that are there to empower you. So I hope that if anything you get from this conversation is how you can recreate or attempt to create similar settings, similar dynamics for you in your relationships. So I look forward for you guys to follow us in the next conversation we're having. And it will be in the next episode where we talk about love, respect, and honor. Thank you.
Thank you.